Hey, Dave Fannin here with the Body Form Personal Training Fitness Boot Camps. Monday morning quick tip, be careful who you seek advice from. In weight loss and fitness, everybody has an opinion. And I really know because just like with the New York Times, they'll put an article out and I'll always read the article. It's usually research based. It's a good article. But the really good stuff is when you go to the 1,000, 2,000, or 3,000 comments from your basic guy on the street. All kinds of bad information out there. And people are more than willing to give it to you and derail you and keep you from getting to the goals that you're looking for. Because that's just what they do. They give unwarranted advice. And just like you wouldn't ask a poor person how to save money and invest and make money, you got to be careful when you're looking at weight loss and fitness who you seek advice from. Quite often, when people start one of my programs, they'll come to me and they'll say, hey, so-and-so told me this, this, and this. And we'll usually dissect it, and it comes down to three types of people that will give you bad advice. And the first is people that have actually never had any success with their own weight loss and fitness. And quite often, this is one of those things where one of my girls will start changing her eating habits, and she'll be at lunch with some of the other girls from the office, and they'll say, well, I noticed you're changing. And she goes, yeah, I just started this fitness boot camp. And one of the girls will pipe up and they'll go, oh yeah, that didn't work for me. Well, what the girl means is that she joined a program and found out that it had that four-letter word work involved and stopped. And of course it didn't work for her. The interesting thing is when you're looking at losing weight and feeling better and change your eating habits and exercise habits, first year or two, damn near everything will work as long as you show up. And that's the key. People that have not been successful with their own weight loss and fitness are not invested in you having a lot of success in your weight loss and fitness. So you have to be careful who you put this in front of, especially if you don't have your filters up yet and you haven't learned long enough. And that's why in our program, we want you around like-minded people. But you have to be careful when you're in the office or on the street or even around your friends and family. They may not have your best interests in mind, not wittingly, but unwittingly, they'll sabotage you with an offhanded comment, but it's not applicable to you. Number two is people who have limited experience, success, but limited experience is not applicable to you. This is what I call the old guy syndrome. If you go to any gym, there's going to be some old guy that's been training for about 40 years, and he does have a key. He kept showing up. But when you ask him, how do you get into shape? He'll say, I run 4 miles a day and I eat sardines three times a week. It's not applicable to you. So what happens is, I see this on the comments a lot or my ads on Facebook where old guys will jump in and go, you should do what I do. And that doesn't always work because exercise and weight loss is the principles are universal, but the application is individual. So, exercising and changing the way you eat, it's very specific to that person, especially when it comes to food. So what works for one person doesn't always work for the other person. But when you're looking at people that have been fit for life over time, they do have one thing that's a key that you can always model off of. It's that they kept showing up. But as far as getting started, if the dude started in 1985 and he was in college and had all the time in the world, that's a lot different than you, where you're 40 right now and you have kids and a job and this and that, and all kinds of things that are keeping you from getting to the gym. His experience is not applicable to your exact situation. You want somebody that has worked with a lot of people in different situations so they can help get you to where you want to be. And the third thing is people that might not give you the entire picture. And I see this sometimes with my girls. They'll talk to girls that are thin and they've been thin for life, and they'll say, well, my friend, she's a fitness girl and she runs half marathons consistently and does triathlons, and she'll ask her friend, what do you do? And she works out 2 times a day. And what you don't get is the eating disorder that the girl's had for her whole life, or that she's eating 1 meal a day and she has barely enough energy to get through the day. And that's the problem with getting individual stories, is you don't always see the entire picture because people are loath to talk about the dirty aspect. I mean, just like showing up over time isn't always the easiest thing, but we try to encourage people because that's what's going to get them the results. But quite often when you're talking to an individual, especially in a single conversation, you're not always going to get the entire picture of how they got to where they want to be. So you have to take their advice, very limited advice, you're not going to see the entire picture, especially when it comes to nutrition, because a lot of times people forget. Like, you'll say, hey, how'd you lose that 30 pounds? They'll say, I was on the elliptical like for an hour a day for like 7 months. And you go, oh, okay, was that all you did? And they go, yeah. And I go, well, did you change anything about how you ate? And they go, oh yeah, I completely revamped my nutrition. So you have to be careful with getting limited feedback from people who have had their own experience, because that's just the way we're designed. We will underestimate the amount of food that we're eating. We will overestimate the amount of exercise. And quite often people that think they exercise it off, it was a nutrition and a combination of exercise. So when you are looking to lose weight, feel better, the 3 R's of real change. 1 is a relationship with a coach and or a group. You're looking for that coach with lots of experience and specializing in what you're looking to accomplish. 2, repetitions, doing that new habit long enough that it becomes your habit. And then reframing, where over time your brain changes, and that's how you eat, that's your habits, and that's your exercise habit. And those are the 3 R's of real change that we use in the Body Firm system. And that's why we try to get you around like-minded people. You can get advice from people that are in the same boat with you, and you have to be careful who you're looking for advice from until you get that nice filter up and you got some successes under your belt. So if you like this video, like it, share it, comment below. If you'd like to set up more information or to set up a consult, you can private message me here on Facebook. And I am Dave Fannin with the Body Firm Personal Training Fitness Boot Camps. Hope you guys have a great day.